Hey folks, it's Chad here at Airstream of Greensboro, a Blue Compass company. It is a beautiful day here in North Carolina. Spring is here. We still have fourth winter coming, but it's a beautiful day. We are going to do a walk around of the 2025 Caravel 20 front bed, which happens to be one of Laura's favorite floor plans. And yes, she's on the camera today, my lovely wife. So let's get into a walk of the 2025 Caravel 20 front bed now. All right, folks, we're going to start on the outside. If you don't want to see the outside because, you know, Airstreams all pretty much look the same, that's fine. There will be chapters you can skip right to the inside, but we're going to do the outside quickly, and then we'll go to the inside. Now, I personally think the Caravel is one of the best single axle floor plans that Airstream has, but you are sacrificing some things to get the kitchen that's in this, and we'll talk about that as we get to the inside. Now, looking at the outside, this is the 20FB. It's actually going to be total length 21 feet. You're looking at a dry weight of about 4,100 pounds and a gross vehicle weight 5,000 pounds. It's 8 foot wide, so a little bit shallower than, say, the 25 foot. And then you got basically a 650 pound tongue weight here. Now, under this cover here, we're going to have two 20-pound propane tanks with the little auto selector. If you leave it down, it will just pick whichever bottle has propane in it and then automatically switch to the other one. But you can also point it towards one and it will just use that one. So 20 pounds, these are easy to swap out if you're near a gas station or something like that. Now, under this box here, we're going to have two 100 amp hour Battleborn GC2H batteries. Now, that's an option with Airstream. You can do basically no solar, no batteries. You can do solar only, and then you can also do an option that has solar and lithium batteries in it. Now, regardless of what you do, you are going to have the little solar extender port there that would allow you to use like a suitcase style ZAMP solar panel that has its own charge controller. And then underneath right here, we're going to have the spare tire. That's where it's pretty much located on every Airstream, and then Laura can kind of pan the hole underneath there. You'll see the heavy duty stabilizers that are basically the same stabilizers that you're going to get on a Flying Cloud. Different now than the 2025 International, because we've got the powered stabilizers on the International. And then we do have a power ton jack that's 3,500 pounds rated, and on this side we're going to have the low pressure propane quick disconnect that does allow you to plug in, you know, generators, grills that don't have the regulators built onto it, so it's got to go straight into it. And then up here we're going to have the standard solar guards. The center one here does open, and then you would need to open this one to be able to open the window that's underneath that also opens. Now this is just basically like a polymer plastic material. It's essentially a sacrificial piece in the case a rock does get up here, cracks this. It's just going to crack this and not the window underneath it, which would be a lot more in price to repair. And then we also have the standard rock guards on the Caravel as well, and this is going to be a stainless steel material underneath it. And then coming around to this side, the main, I guess, campsite side, we've got the awning out, and as I mentioned, 21 foot, like from tip to pit 21 feet tip to tip. You're going to get basically the longest awning possible. Airstream always does that, and it's essentially going to go from this seam no matter what. If it's a 30 foot, a 28 foot, or a 20 foot, it's going to go from there all the way down to the same seam that's at the end. So you're going to get the longest awning you can possibly get. Now on the Caravel, it's going to be a manual awning. It's the exact same one that is on the Flying Cloud. You can tilt it to one side if you want to, and I will say it takes me about roughly the same amount of time to put this out and put it away as it does for the powered zip-die awning to go out, if you're wondering. Now, I do have a great video you can watch that shows how to get that out and deploy it. We have an aluminum step on the Caravel, and then with it being a 2025 model, we've got the new door handle that hopefully will not lock you out. They do put these stickers on here that basically say, make sure you lock this, and you should absolutely lock that, because if you don't, the door can come open when you're going down the road, and that's not a good thing if that happens. We've got the Goodyear Endurance tires. Those are the same that we're basically seeing on everything other than the Classic, but they're ST 225 75 R15s. And then looking underneath, we're going to have the Dexter torsion axle. Of course, is a single axle here. That axle is going to be, it's a torsion axle. It does have a little bend in the middle, and that's to set your camber. And then this also is going to have the additional shock or damper, damper shock in there too, to help soften the blow when you go over a bump or you come off like a bridge. It will settle down quicker because it has that. And then we're going to have the auto adjusting Dexter brakes, and we're going to have the no maintenance bearings on this particular Caravel, or on the Caravel 2. You don't get that on the Bambi, which is why I like to point it out on the Caravel. Port windows right there, which is really nice. We do have power right there. That will only work when you're plugged into shore power. And then the furnace right beside. Of course, it's going to be a little bit smaller furnace on the Caravel. And then coming around to the back, I do have the window awning out. So if you're wondering what that fabric looks like, you can see it there. And it does match your main patio awning. It's basically the same. And then this is an option on the Caravel. So you don't have to get the window awnings, and it will save a little bit of weight, which would give you more cargo carrying capacity. But it's also a very popular option, and most people get it, and we stock them mostly with the window awning package. But on the Bambi, it's not even an option. We have your only outside storage right here for the 20 front bed Caravel. It's nice storage. The only thing I'm not a fan of is how the plumbing is there, like it's exposed. You probably want to be a little careful with stuff that you put in there. And then as we kind of look at this door, the door is insulated. Of course, Airstream makes the door. It's insulated. And then the way the lock is designed, when you pull it around and push it down, it actually pulls that door in against the sill to help it have a stronger seal to prevent water intrusion. And then we've got the bumper storage here. It is wet storage, so you are going to have, anything you put in there is going to get wet. But I do like to put my leveling chalks in here, things like your sewer hose, that type of stuff works really good. That's just going to be your freshwater fill right there, your potable water. And then coming around to the roadside or the business side of the Airstream, you're going to see a bigger window awning here. Again, that's optional. We also have two large windows, and depending on your opinion of the floor plan, the 20-foot is going to have these two large windows on this side. So if you're camping in a regular campground and you've got a neighbor, you're going to be looking onto their campsite, where the 22-foot, these two big windows and this one window is going to be on the other side and me looking over your campsite, So that is definitely something to consider. We do have a pressure regulator built into our city fill right there. We have our black tank flush. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a hose that connects into the black tank. It has a sprinkler system in it. So when you hook up to that, it's going to spray all around the tank and it help wash that out. Definitely something you want to have, and you want to use it every time you go camping. And then we've got our basic outside shower that I have probably been complaining about since I started selling Airstreams a few years ago. But guess what? I'm about to tell you something that even Laura doesn't know, because I just found out. And not only did I just find out, my rep at Airstream just found out when I asked them about it. So that's a fun thing.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. There is a new mid-year update, and it's not really a mid-year update. It's like a mid-year update. You could call it like the 2025.9 update. This is going away.
Really?
We have a new outside shower, and we have a unit right beside us that has it.
Oh, so, that thing.
If you get a Airstream that was built, I guess, what month are we in right now? April? March. So I guess if it was built after maybe March or February, you're getting this new outside shower, which I love.
Yeah.
It's going to have the little sprinkler deal right here, and you just spray, which for me, this is what an outside shower should be. Like we're just basically using it to rinse our feet off, rinse the dog off, rinse your stuff off, sand and things like that. And then it's got a quick disconnect that will allow you to pull this out, which you will need to do before you put it away. Still have hot and cold water there. Oh yeah, so this is actually sold, and it's going to a really cool couple that you might see on the internet soon, on YouTube. They are YouTubers, so I'm sure this one's gonna end up on the internet at some point. But this is the new outside shower. There are some new things, and I'm not sure about all the new stuff. That's kind of like this, I don't know,
quarter year update
or 3/4 year update, whatever you're going to call it. Tradewind's definitely got a little bit of an update too, and I'm hoping to put a video out soon. So make sure you subscribe. It. From what I understand, that is going on every model lineup that Airstream has. That's going to be the new outside shower.
Oh.
I'm actually okay. It did not hurt. Did you get it on video?
I did.
Okay.
It hurt me.
I'm good. I'm a little, I've got stars, but I'm good. So this is the current outside shower, but with the 3/4 year update, we are going away from that to the new outside shower, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm very excited about that. Same tire and wheel on this side. We already talked about those windows. They do open. You'll see this when we go inside. Those 2 port windows are in the bathroom. So if you're a fan of having windows in your bathroom, you're going to like this floor plan. We've got the Girard tankless water heater here. Does have a switch out here that you can turn off, mainly for winterization. Once you turn that on, it won't even try to turn on. And I get a question a lot of times, how do you winterize this tank? You're going to winterize it just like you would any other plumbing component. Turn that switch off so that the water heater doesn't turn on, and then run your winterization fluid through this tank. Just basically winterize that as well. And then we're back around to the front. Not too bad. We're pretty good on time. How are we doing, Laura, on time?
11 minutes.
11 minutes. We will pop in at some point, probably right now, and show you the roof, and we'll get a little bit more underneath as well.
Watch your head again.
But we're going to go inside now. Should I talk about the door for 10 minutes?
I mean, I've not done a video for a while, so I feel like you should.
So I feel like I should. Okay. So Airstream spins.
And if you don't want this, just like click ahead 10 minutes.
Yeah, just click ahead. Airstream spins 8 hours manufacturing this door. It's hand built by Airstream artisans. Very cool. You do have a frosted glass out here with all the buck rivets. If you know what a buck rivet is, you can see them here, and it's basically the opposite of a pop rivet. This one is going to have more of a mechanical fastening once it's in place. And think about if you've ever seen videos of them building the Empire State Building where they had like a hammer hitting against it to bend that metal together. That's what they're doing there. And then they build this door and the screen door to be a pair. So you can see that the shape is very similar as far as that bend goes, so that when you shut it, it shuts as a pair, which also means you want to always connect these doors together before you shut it. On the screen door, which is also built by hand, you'll see multiple welds on the outside and on the inside right here. And then one of the things that you get with the Caravel, and I just want to mention this because it is different than the Bambi, is this little cover grill here. You get this on the Caravel standard. It's not on the Bambi. So basically this is not here. Still have the screen, and then same thing up here. Just one of the differences between the Bambi and the Caravel. That's all I'm going to say.
You only talked for like a minute and a half.
Wow. All right, come on inside to one of my favorite single axle floor plans. And if Laura and I, if we were in the market for a single axle floor plan, I feel like this would definitely be at the top of our list, if not just done, like not even have to think about it. This floor plan is fantastic. You've got a great dinette right here in the middle section here. It does go down and it makes into a bed, which I'll show you in a second. But great room to sit down. You can easily put 4 people around this table, and that's one of the things that you're going to want to consider when you're looking at, say, the 22-foot or the 20-foot, because the 22-foot has a U-shaped dinette, and it's a little bit harder to actually fit 4 adults around that table, where you can easily do that with this table. Now, as far as turning this into a bed area, you're just going to collapse that leg, and then this goes right down in place. This pillow goes right there, and then this one goes right here. And let me kick my shoes off. As far as how much room we have here plenty of room. Like, I'm not touching on either end. I'm 5'9", so there's plenty of room for an adult to lay here. Definitely 2 kids could easily sleep there. And this table is actually skinnier than most of the tables Airstream produces. For whatever reason, Airstream decided to do that, but it makes it easier to put this table down than a lot of the other, especially the Flying Cloud. Laura's shaking her head. Sometimes she forgets that she has a mic. She's shaking her head up and down in agreement. But why I point that out, it's a little bit harder to put those tables down because you basically have to move all of these cushions out of the way to get the table to go down. Whereas with this one, you don't really have to do that.
When you put it down initially, I was going to say this must be the easiest dinette to convert.
It is, yeah, it really is.
Like, that's all it takes.
Like, how quick it is to put that down and put it back up. It is significantly easier. I just want to make sure you guys fully understand that. And we've got great storage up here above with the sliding doors. Very similar to the cabinetry that's on the International. You got it on both sides. Something to think about with these particular storage doors here. If I want to go into this area, I can open this one and I can reach here, but I can't go to both, right? So I got to pick a side that I want to be in and move it all down. Whereas like the Flying Cloud, you can just open the doors and get in totally into it. Something to think about. You know, it's not a huge deal, but if you haven't bought your Airstream yet, you may definitely want to consider that as part of your decision making process. Now, this is going to be a fairly skinny bed. You're looking at what's it, 38 foot, 40 feet, holy smokes, 48 inches by 78 inches. This is actually the same bed that's in the 16RB Bambi. So think about that, 16 foot, same bed. It's very tight. You know, there's plenty of room for me. What I would say is Laura and I could definitely fit here. We're just going to be on top of each other. Like, we're touching, like, for sure. So that's something to consider. I'm also a fairly full-figured American man here. So if you're not as big as I am and you're 2 smaller people, this may be just fine. The 22 foot does have a much larger bed in it, and I think that's one of the reasons the 22 foot a lot of times gets picked over the 20 foot. The other thing you could do is have one person sleep here, one person sleep there. I do know couples that do that, but just something to consider because it is kind of a small bed when it comes to an Airstream. Now, we do have a really nice closet area right here for your wardrobe, and then underneath is going to be some drawers that pull out right there and right there. Now, I didn't mention, haven't said anything in the video, but this is an all-new interior for 2025. It's much lighter, way more open than what the previous models. They were very dark. And we also went to a cushion, not cushion, of course we have a cushion. We went to a cloth style cushion. Yep. But I do like this a whole lot better. This is a cloth instead of the leather. And I like it because it's not slippery. So all of your colors are going to be lighter. There's 2 cushion colors, and we'll pop that up on the screen that you can see. Basically everything else is going to stay the same. Now this area right here, we're going to have a really nice kind of pantry area, or I guess season, what do you call that? Spice rack.
Before you missed a few things. Like, we didn't talk about a few things.
Oh yeah, I missed
over here.
See, this is why I like having Laura filming videos.
We got a little storage right here.
Yep.
We've got a boot bin, which I love under here.
You can only put boots there, isn't it?
Only boots, nothing else. Airstream will come get you. We don't, in our Flying Cloud, we don't really have a designated good spot to put shoes. So I wish we had that. And then
the little hooks.
Yeah, hooks.
A little marker.
Whiteboard.
And then in here, we've got more overhead storage, similar to what is in over the dinette there, a little bit deeper. We also have speakers that point to the inside, so Airstream is capable of doing that. This is and I say that because a lot of like the Flying Cloud and the International speakers are pointing straight down. I'm not a fan. There are reading lights on both sides. I guess they assume that you're going to lay opposite directions, so your reading light's there. And then here, it's kind of funny. I'm joking, but yeah. at the same time. Center window opens, and then there is a ton of storage underneath this particular floor plan. To get to it, there's a little door that opens right there, and you can see the tanks there. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. That's like super deep storage. You can see kind of all around, like just a ton of storage right there.
And those containers come with the unit.
It does. And we didn't show this storage underneath the show in. Yep, so into there, and then I'm gonna have Laura show you into this one too. So good storage under the dinette as well.
And then you've got power back here that is on the inverter, according to that sticker, and then you've got two USB-C plugs there.
And then that brings up one thing I haven't mentioned yet. We do have a 2,000 watt standard inverter on the Caravel floor plan that you don't get on the Bambi. Now we do have the 12 volt TVs now. It's been standard for a couple of years. Last year we got a smart TV version of this. The software is decent, but does give you the ability to have Netflix, YouTube TV, all that kind of stuff. And then for the 2025 model year, we got an update with a bezel-less TV. Does have this nice silver, which does feel like metal bottom bezel, and I think it looks fantastic with the Airstream. It does have, on this particular floor plan, a arm that pulls out, and it pulls out pretty like stinking far. Like you could pull it and face it towards the kitchen area if you wanted to be able to watch TV and cook at the same time. Refrigerator. Yeah, refrigerator. Kind of a small fridge, but this is basically how it is on these size floor plans. It's the same fridge that you're getting on the base camp, the Bambi, and the Caravels. Now, this is probably the biggest reason you may buy the Caravel is this incredible kitchen. Laura, what do you think of the kitchen?
I love the kitchen. So much room.
I do like the kitchen quite a bit. We did a video on the Bambis that was like comparing, at the time, all 4 Bambi floor plans. And we picked like which was our favorite at the end, and we both said the 20 foot, which is the same floor plan basically as the Caravel. I love this kitchen. Now you do get this different style stovetop here. It's the same stovetop that you're going to get in the Classic. This vent here does vent to the outside, and of course it does have the light there. I do really like the 2 port windows you get there. You can see outside. And you're not sacrificing a window at the sink. You actually have a better window at the sink than you do on most of the different floor plans. They use the port windows at the sink. So you can look out the back there. We have tons of storage. You got the silverware organizer. Forget words sometimes. Look at that. Another deep storage area there. And then that's just going to drop down.
Pretty deep though.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Wow.
Deeper than I thought it would be.
We have the convection microwave, right? Is that convection or regular microwave?
Convection.
Yeah, convection microwave. Very, super nice. Now, I will say something Airstream is doing this year. It's either black or stainless steel. We have no idea which one's coming, and we don't know why that is the case.
Is convection microwave an option?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. And then, that should just go right there. And then like super deep storage under the sink there. So just like
it goes all the way back.
I mean, tons of storage. This floor plan has more storage than most of the 25 and maybe the 28, not the 27 RB or 27 front bed, but it definitely has more storage than the 28 RB or I would say even the 25 front bed. What do you think, Laura?
Oh, there's so much kitchen storage.
Come back this way.
And I showed under the sink how it goes all the way back into that corner.
Okay, bathroom. So one of the benefits to this floor plan is you are getting a full dry bath, and it's actually like it's a pretty good size for a bathroom. On the 16 RB, that's a wet bath, so your toilet and showers in the same compartment or same spot. The 20 and 22 foot, you're getting a dry bath, so it's on bathroom. It's a corner bath, but with it being a corner bath, it's still a really good size. This toilet does sit a little tall, so for me, my legs are facing down a little bit. If you're shorter, like Laura, for instance, her feet may even probably not dangle, but they're definitely gonna be maybe on their tippy toes. Some people hate that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's a porcelain toilet too, which is nice. We have a surface mounted stainless steel sink. This is going to be a plywood countertop, the same plywood countertop that's in the kitchen. We do have a nice mirror area with a medicine cabinet behind it, and it is a little bit recessed, which is nice. I like. Put that back, and of course, good light. It is ducted AC, so we do have an AC vent in here and a heat vent. That is a exhaust vent for when you're using the bathroom or taking a shower. And then right here is going to be your water heater control. It's a tankless water heater, so you're going to set that to the temperature that you want to take a shower at, and then just turn the hot water nozzle to, my balance is not very good today.
It shows you how big the shower is.
When I almost fell into it.
You could almost fall into it and still didn't hit the wall.
Yeah. Huge shower. Set that to the temperature you want, and then turn the hot water all the way to hot water and just take a shower. Huge shower. This shower is way bigger than anything you can get currently on the 25, 27, 28 floor plans. It's huge. Tons of room. It's about the same shower as what you get on the 22-foot Caravel. You do have this little screen that pulls across, and it has the squeegee on this side to squeegee the water out. We do have the move around thing there, shower head. Now it still has a seat down here, so if you want to shave your legs, ladies, or if you need to sit down if you're really tall, whatever you want to do, you can do that. But it doesn't go all the way down to where it gets in the way of your feet, which is one of the things I'm really a big fan of, because a lot of the other floor plans, like the 25-foot, it goes all the way down, and then you can't put your foot in it. But massive, like absolutely massive shower. It does have the little clothesline that pulls across right there, like super nice. You have the little shower bottle soap holders right there. I mean, it's a huge shower. It's massive. You can see in here. So from that standpoint, it's like a 10 out of 10 for Airstream when it comes to showers. Okay, we get everything in here.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't talk about
we have the two vents, exhaust vents. So the new max fan with the rain sensor is right there. We also now have the new GE intake. So new GE air conditioner on top, the profile with the intake right there. On this floor plan, it's going to be a 13.5 with a heat pump, which is fantastic. That heat pump will actually create heat all the way down to GE says 29 degrees, which is incredible considering that the Coleman and the Dometic is 40 degrees. So significantly more efficient when it comes to creating heat from the heat pump. And then it is ducted, so you're ducted in your exhaust here, but your intake is also ducted. The air conditioner is sitting back a little bit, so the air conditioner is going to sit, you see the intake here, but it's going to actually sit probably about right there. And so that air is going up and then coming back and then going up. The reason that's important is the more bends you can put into air movement, the quieter the air is moving. So this unit, this setup is going to be 20% quieter than a traditional RV that's ducted, but the intake goes straight up into the air conditioner. If you have something like a base camp and you're considering moving to a Caravel, it's going to be more like 30% or 40% quieter than something like the base camp, where the exhaust and the intake is all in one spot. That's going to be really loud. And if you're thinking, oh, I got a base camp, the AC is so loud, and you want to move to something that's going to be quieter, definitely consider the Caravel, because you can get a small 20-foot floor plane like the 20X base camp, but have the ducted AC. I'm going to show you underneath the camper. One of the things I've been wanting to do with our videos is actually show the tongue weight of each floor plane. Now, no propane currently in these two 20-pound propane tanks, and you'll see online there's a big debate about tongue weight or hitch weight. For Airstream, everybody says that it weighs more than it actually says it does. Well, I've got this scale that I spent money on, which is probably not smart, but it weighs the actual hitch weight at the ball, which is where you want to weigh it at. And as I mentioned earlier, the hitch weight on this is 650 pounds. There's no propane tanks or parapane in the tanks, as I mentioned. And look right here, it's actually shy of 600 pounds on your tongue weight. Now, it will change depending on leverage, I think, but we're sub 600 pounds. Even if you put in your 40 pounds of propane, You're not going to get all the way to the 650. What I found is we're generally pretty close to whatever Airstream says the hitch weight weighs, but a 2025 Caravel 20 front bed, just shy of 600 pounds, probably like 570 because that's not digital, and who knows how to read those things. All right, let's look underneath real quick of the Caravel. And then underneath, you're gonna see that spare tire right there, as we showed you a little bit earlier. You have your stabilizer there as well. And then moving forward, without hitting the awning, we've got one of our tanks there, or your storage area, and then one of your tanks there. And then the axle, as I mentioned, we move towards the back. We're gonna have the other two tanks, which will be the black and gray tank, and probably the freshwater tank is back here somewhere as well. So that's underneath. Let me go up top and we'll show you the roof of the Caravel as well. All right, folks, we're taking a look at the top of the Caravel. I didn't mention this earlier in the video, so I'll do that now. There is a new front cap, a rear cap for 2025 on the Caravel. Airstream did this last year with the International and the Flying Cloud, and then the previous year with the Globetrotter and the Pottery Barn. So new front line, or new front and rear cap. We also have a new stamped, automotive stamp inner ribs. The big difference here with the roof and the front cap, the front and rear cap now comes up high enough that it's able to connect in right with the roof. And there's no more transition here, where there used to be a little transition. You'd have two sill lines here instead of just the one. I think that's a big improvement for 2025 on the Caravel. We also got the GE profile, as I mentioned, on the inside, and then you'll have that same change on the front as well. Now, 200 watts of solar on this floor plan. It is the Marlin solar panel that you get with all of the Airstreams. That's a military grade solar panel. It's a 9 bus bar, if you are wondering, and it is a very slim, rigid panel as well. Does not have the flexible panel like you see on the Tradewind. The little round dish, if you're wondering what that is your HD over-the-air antenna. We have one of our exhaust fans right there. Your exhaust for the plumbing system is right there, and then that's going to be your exhaust fan for the bathroom area. So that is the roof of the Caravel. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you click the like button and click the subscribe button. And that is probably a very small thing you can do, but has a massive impact on the channel, and it helps us out as well. Now, don't forget, I am a salesperson here at Airstream of Greensboro, so if you are in the market for an Airstream and want to stop by our store, please do that. Feel free to come on in and ask for Chad, and I'll be happy to help you guys. Now, I am a huge fan of this floor plan. I think Laura is too. What do you think?
I love this floor plan.
What is, like, your, as a female, what is your favorite things? What do you think the females out there, the ladies out there, would be happy, like, want to know? So
I'm gonna, instead of speaking for women, I'm gonna speak for the people who cook. Okay, that makes amongst campers. Yeah. Because I do Chad grills, I do any cooking that happens inside the camper, and this kitchen is huge. One of the things with most campers, really, but a lot of Airstreams, is you don't have a ton of counter space. And there's a ton of counter space here, a ton of storage, a lot of kitchen storage that you can use for other things, because it's just a lot of storage. I will say one of the, favorite thing is the kitchen. The downside is the bed. Yeah. I think Chad and I, we would end up, one of us sleeping here and one in the bed, because it's just too small for us.
I said this in the Bambi video, or the 4 Bambi videos that we did. You guys should definitely check, if you're interested in a single axle, you should definitely check that out, because we basically compare all of the floor plans. At that time, there was a 19 CB that Airstream's not making anymore, but still have the 16, the 20, and the 22. Take a look at that video, and we can throw that down in the description to make it easy to find it. But take a look at that, because we'll compare everything. In that video, I said if Airstream made this floor plan but did it as a 23-foot, so they could put twin beds in the bed area, this is like, I would literally consider buying this. Like, I would 100%, this would be at the top of our list for our next camper, because I think it checks so many boxes, yet it's small. Right now with our 25-foot, we're considering going bigger to try to fix some areas that we're not 100% happy with or satisfied with on our 25-foot. This fixes a lot of those things. So it would be like, we would consider buying it. And I think more people would buy this floor plan if it had twin beds, the twin bed option, or it just had a bigger front queen bed, which you could do if it was a 23-foot. Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
That's it. Just want to thank you guys for checking out this video. We will put in the first comment all of the specs for this. I mentioned a few of them at the beginning of the video, but there's a lot more specs, and you're probably wondering that. We'll also put what the current MSRP price is down there as well. We can't promote like the actual sales price. That's against Airstream's advertising policies. Other than that, I hope you guys are living riveted. Hopefully we'll see you down the road. Thanks. Bye.